Hello and welcome to my top 10 favorite Halo levels of all time. This list will include Halo levels from Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5 as I haven't played 5 yet. I hope you enjoy. At number 10 we have The Truth and Reconciliation from Halo 1. The Truth and Reconciliation is the third campaign mission of Halo Combat Evolved. The Master Chief and his team of Marines must rescue Captain Keyes, who is being held captive aboard the Covenant ship The Truth and Reconciliation. After boarding the ship by using the gravity lift, and the Master Chief then fights his way through the interior of the Covenant battlecruiser to rescue Captain Keyes and several other prisoners from the ship's brig. This is the first level which the Hunters, the Zealot Elites, and the Stealth Elites are all encountered in one level. This mission is probably one of my favourite missions early on. It's pretty good because you start off, it's a night mission, it's sort of like a night raid, and you start off and you have a sniper and you have to stealthily take out or you don't have to stealthily, you can just go in guns blazing, but it's recommended you take out with the sniper stealthily so the enemies don't get continuously respawn. Like on higher difficulties like heroic and legendary, it gets brutally hard if you don't know what you're doing and you just go in guns blazing. So it's also one of the hardest missions I found in the trilogy or the to Halo 4, simply because there's such a variety of enemies and it's so brutal. It can be brutal when it wants to be, but it's also a fun experience because you get that sense of fear when you go on the ship for the first time. You see a zealot come out of nowhere, invisible, and stab the shit out of one of your Marines, and you're thinking, oh my god, where did he come from? Now, not all the zealots are invisible, but something like that brings a sense of fear when you're going around the ship, because the ship's all dark, especially if you're playing on the original Halo 1 graphics. If you got the updated version on the 360 or the Xbox One, it's a little bit of improvement. There's a bit more light, but there's still a bit of it's still pretty dark, and I usually like to play that level co-op, not simply because of it's a bit you get fear, but simply because you get a bit of experience if you're playing it with a friend, because there's a lot of areas where you can double team enemies, and it's just a really fun mission. Some people probably won't like this is on my top 10, but it's just my opinion, and you know. At number 9 we have The Covenant from Halo 3. The Covenant is the 8th campaign mission of Halo 3. This level takes place on the Ark. In this level, the player must stop the Prophet of Truth, who at this stage is gone crazy, trying to fire rings into Halo, or the Halo rings. Before reaching the Truth, and the Marines and the Covenant separatist forces must deactivate the 3 towers powering the defense barriers protecting the Prophet's citadel, and face off a massive vehicle Covenant force, including 2 Scarabs at one time. How amazing is that? Finally, united by this common purpose of stopping the rings, the Gravemind offers an alliance with the Master Chief and the Arbiter. So the Gravemind is the guy who controls the Flood, so you get to work with the Flood this mission. And basically this mission is the mission where you go brutal on Truth. You get him back. That's all I'll say. But it's also it's probably one of the longest missions in the game, and it's the longest mission in Halo 3. And it's also the last mission you actually fight the Covenant in for Halo 3. I won't say why, but it is. It's towards the end of the campaign. I'd say it's level 8 of 11 or something. But I found this mission really fun simply because there's such a diverse array of you start off with. So you start off on the ground with your Spartan laser as Master Chief. Then you just take out, um, you know, other Covenant enemies such as grunts and brutes and jackals. Then you continue up, and then you take out the wraiths, and then you board the little, I forgot what they are, the helicopter things, and you fly. No, you take out the one of the towers in with you go with a warthog or a buggy, and you go up this quarry down to the quarry, and then you go through a base and you take out all these enemies, and then you have to fight this guy with a hammer, and it's just fun level. I think most people would enjoy it. At number 8 we have Nightfall from Halo Reach. This mission involves Noble 6 cooperating with Noble 3, who is June, in a series of stealth-based encounters at night, the purpose of which is to recon with the Covenant forces that are in the Dark Zone. Basically, all this mission is about it's so good. It's at night. You can do what you like. At the start, you can take out. It's all stealth. This mission, you get the choices. Do you want to take out these people, or want to engage on them, or do you want to just let them walk, let go past them? But you could encounter them later. Because at the end you have a big battle. But I won't say why. But this is a fun mission. Probably one of my favourite stealth missions in the Halo franchise. It might be in my actually top 10 stealth missions. I'll have to look at my list later on, but if it's in the top 10, it shows you how high I rate this mission. It's a fun experience. If you don't like stealth missions, I'd probably say stick away from this. You probably won't have the best of times, but there's still some run and gun sections in the mission, but it mainly emphasizes on the sniping, long range, and silent takedowns. So that's why I like it the most. At number 7, we have another Halo Reach mission, Long Night of Solace. The Long Night of Solace is the 6th campaign level of Halo Reach. This is the first and only level in any of the Halo games to feature ship-to-ship combat in space. How good is that? Ship-to-ship combat is amazing. It's like what Star Wars Battlefront, the new game, should have done. It should have had space battles. This is what this mission's about. You have a space battle for the first 15 minutes. And then after that, you go into this ship, like exactly what in Star Wars Episode 3, when Anakin and Obi-Wan fly their ships into the base, and they invade the base. You, Noble 6, and the big guy George, that's exactly what you do. You go into the ship, and you take out all these enemies. But it has one of the saddest endings in a Halo mission of all time. You have to play this mission. It is amazing. It is an emotional journey, and it is well written. Probably the deepest mission in the Halo. Or there's some good. Halo Reach really emphasizes on the story. There's a lot of emotional bits in it, but this mission is such a sad moment in the mission. And I hope some of you play it, or I hope some of you have seen people play it and you know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to spoil what happens. If you want to know, just look up Long Night of Solace mission and watch that. But it's a fun mission. You would enjoy it. At number 6, we have the Silent Cartographer from Halo 1. This mission is amazing. I remember getting this as a demo with my Xbox One, original Xbox, before I even got Halo. I got my original Xbox with Halo 2, and I didn't play Halo 1 before because I was only about 8 or 9. And this level is amazing. The Silent Cartographer, the amount of fun you can have in this mission is incredible. You could spend 5 minutes on the mission, or you could spend an hour. The good thing about this mission is there's multiple ways to do it, you can either go to the end first and take out do the ending shit first and then go back and do the start, or you can speed run the whole map without killing anyone, or you can glitch. If you like glitches, well, this is the glitch map of the century. You can glitch anything you want really in this map. It's such a well-rounded map. It's almost like the Halo. Bungie created this level simply for everyone. I have not known anyone that hasn't had a good time on this level. This level is fun. It's on a beach. You're on an island. You know, one of the best bits of the missions at the start when depending what way you go, but I usually go the recommended route, which is the long way, and you take out these enemies first. Well, if you go that way, you go past. You're in at the end of the beach, at the end of the first rock point of the beach. Your Marines are fighting two elites, and it's when you take out the elites, all your Marines are just standing around in a circle looking at you, and they're waiting, they're talking, and then this the warthog drops down, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck," or some shit like that. But it's such a well-rounded mission. Honestly, play this. It's such a great mission. At number 5, we have Delta Halo from Halo 2. Delta Halo is the 8th campaign level of Halo 2. Basically, you drop down onto Halo through a drop pod with Master Chief, and you help the ODST soldiers. So it's the first time in any Halo level you get ODST soldiers as your help, and it's I think it's the only level where you get to fight it's the first level where you get to fight the Honor Guard elites. Jeez, the Honor Guard elites. Now there's something. They're basically they're elites that carry energy swords that are extremely overpowered. They're like, if you watch Star Wars, the Emperor's Guard, so those red dudes, the guard people, that's what these Honor people are probably based off. They wear these crown things and they have these stick things, but when you fight them all, they go psycho. But this level is sick simply because you get to use a tank, a warthog, anything. You get a rocket launcher at the start. The one problem I don't like about this map is there's too many jackal snipers, and they piss me off, the jackal snipers. But once you get that's at the end of the mission. It's actually a pretty difficult mission if you don't know what you're doing, but I recommend playing the mission multiple times to get the full, funness or greatness or enjoyment out of this level, because it's such a well-deserved, in my opinion, top 5 level in the Halo franchise. It's incredibly underrated, this level. I've looked on many sites and they always have it some of them have it in the top 10, but nobody ever has it in the top 5. I've never seen someone have it. I don't know, people that love Halo 2, probably some people have it in the top 2 maybe, but this level is amazing. The musical score in this level is amazing as well, but I would totally recommend it to anyone. At number 4, we have the Pillar of Autumn from Halo 1. Or, if you don't like the Pillar of Autumn, you don't like Halo, I'm sorry. The very first mission of the Halo trilogy and the Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 1, the Pillar of Autumn is the best mission in the Halo 1 franchise, in my opinion. Basically what happens is, it's sort of a tutorial mission at the start. You wake up from the cryogenic sleep, and you have to do the tutorial. So can you look up, down, you adjust your brightness, and then you have to go see Captain Keyes, who's on the other side of the ship, and he gives you a gun. So you get out of the cryo state, and then you go do all your tutorials, and then you hear that there's an attack. You see these elites come in and shoot one of your officers, who is on the top floor, and then you get accompanied by another Marine who's who takes you to Mr. Keys, and then you get a gun off him. And after you brief with him, you're accompanied by the first time you ever meet Cortana, and then all you got to do is you're just trying to find an escape pod and trying to save as many Marines as you can. But you don't. You can save the Marines all you like, but if they die, they die. But there's a certain amount of Marines you can save in this mission that'll end up on the ship. So I don't know if people notice, but if you save 4 or 5 Marines, in the next mission there will be 4 or 5 Marines extra. But there will be one Marine you automatically you can't not save him because it's sort of the end of the mission when that happens. At number 3, we have Uprising from Halo 2. Uprising is one of the last missions of Halo 2. It's, I think, the 13th mission. And you play as Thal Van Dam, who's the Arbiter. The player must battle their way through multiple enemies, including the Jackal snipers, those, what are they, the buggy things, the winged creatures, what are they, the brutes. But the sick thing about this mission is, at the start, you come off and you play after you see Gravemind, and I won't spoil why you see him, but it's at the end of one of the missions, and then he puts you back there in Uprising. And this mission is beautiful. You spawn back at this location, and this epic music plays like someone's died, and it's sort of a revenge thing, right? And as you're walking, you see there's a dead elite. This is after when Master Chief encounters this Covenant Civil War on Gravemind's mission. But as you see the dead elite, and there's the energy sword, and he's all got blood all over, you hear the Arbiter says something like, "The brutes, how could they?" or something. But the way he says it, he's so regretful that he couldn't be there, and he just wants to take out revenge. And the thing that pisses me off the most is if you go up on I usually take the shortcut route to get up, because it's a very stealth mission at the start. Because if you're the Arbiter and taking on the brutes with freaking brute shots are bloody OP. They kill you one shot if you're playing on heroic or legendary, or you don't know what you're doing. But I take the high route with the trees, and I turn my invisibility on, and you see these brutes, these little shit brutes who are shooting at dead elites that are dead. How disrespectful is that? To be shooting at someone that's dead, they ought to be shot. And when I see that, I jump down and I stab the shit out of them. I don't care if I get seen, but that's disgraceful. And they laugh when they do it, and I just say, I'm laughing at them when I kill them. So, that's what the Arbiter would do. He'd laugh at that. He'd say, how could you do such a disgraceful thing? Kill my elites, you betray them, I'm going to kill you. But the best bit is after you wipe out these people, before you enter this little base or little retreat thing you go in, you see all these drop pods drop down. There's about 6 or 7. And yes, we get to get help with the gold elites. The gold elites for the first time are helping us in a Halo game. The Zealots, oh my god, it's unbelievable. They come in and they kill everyone. Oh, they go psycho, these gold elites. And you get the help of the grunts. The grunts are funny because, you walk past and they're like, oh, don't shoot me. And then there's a little grunt towards the end of the mission. He's like, oh, I'm going to die anyway. And he gets a fuel rod cannon and he suicides into the brutes. But it's a fun mission. I don't know if many people would enjoy it, but I certainly did. At number 2, we have Metropolis. Metropolis is also in Halo 2. It's the 5th campaign level. It's the first mission in Halo 2, and it might be Halo 2, where you were able to drive the Scorpion tank. It's definitely the first mission where you can drive a Wraith. and you can also drive Banshees. It's also one of the V2 levels where you can acquire that special Warthog, the one that shoots rockets out of it, and I forgot its name. And it also takes place on New Mombasa, where the mission Outskirts is from. It just continues straight away from the Outskirt mission. But this mission is such a fun and enjoyable experience. As a Halo fan, a Halo lover, I have to say, a majority of Halo fans should enjoy this mission. It is kind of hard at the start if you're playing on the high difficulties, but there's a way you can just skip a lot if you don't want to get involved. But so you start off in a Warthog, or a tank, and you go into this tunnel, take out all these enemies. The one thing that is incredibly hard if you're playing on the high difficulties is as soon as you get out of the tunnel, you reach this sort of quarry thing, a dam, and all there is jackal snipers galore, and they will fuck you up. So don't try and be a smartass and take them on, because they'll just dominate you. It's unbelievable the amount of crap I had to take. If you're seriously playing on Legendary, I'd say you spend about 20 to half an hour just not dying and taking out all these enemies there. But after that, when you get into the bit where you board, the best bit about this mission is when you board the Scarab. The Scarab is just, I used to try to find tricks when I was playing this. Not tricks, but I used to try, I'd try and jump and shoot myself with a rocket launcher, and then bounce off a wall and get on the Scarab early, or I'd try and, there's a bit where a Warthog gets blown up by the Scarab, and I've tried, you can actually save the Warthog if you're quick enough, and I've tried to, save the Warthog, and then if you save the Warthog, it's sort of this, lucky dialogue. You get different dialogue from a Marine after you save him, and then he says something like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I also used to try and push Marines onto the Scarab, because I used to you gotta remember, when the first time I ever played this game, I was a kid, and I was trying, I was, I hated playing on the higher difficulties against some of the, because when you go on the Scarab, if you're playing on the higher difficulties, there's usually 2 invisible guys, which are usually white elites, or sometimes gold elites. There's usually the elites, there's red elites that are using the ship, steering it. Then you got bloody silver grunts who shoot fuel rods on the ship, so they're going to blow you up if you get close. So I'd try and get as much help as I could. I'd try to put the Warthog on the Scarab. But basically this mission is a fun mission, and I would have to say many people would enjoy this mission. Some honourable mentions. The Ark, which is a sniper mission from Halo 3. The Great Journey, which is the last mission from Halo 2. Outskirts, which is a Halo 2 mission. And Halo, which is one of the most open missions in the whole franchise. It's from Halo 1. But my favourite mission of all time has to go to Regret from Halo 2, which is one of the most, in my opinion, the greatest mission of all time. When I finished playing this mission, so basically it's the 9th mission in the campaign, starting from the end of Delta Halo. It's so good. You travel through gondolas, underwater elevators, underwater cities you go through, temple corridors, and you have to find the Prophet of Regret and kill him. But this mission is such a good mission, simply because there's such a variety and diverse range of enemies. You start off and you get help with Marines, and then you take out all these buggers at the start, and then you get you got to watch out for snipers, and But there's hunters in there's two sets of hunters. You get hunters at the start of the mission and hunters at the middle of the mission. Um, there's so much going on in this mission. The music is epic and the score is amazing. Then you have when you go toward when you have at the end of the mission. There's so many energy, so many elites with energy swords. There's about 10 honor guards that just constantly come out and try to ruin your day. Um, Even the fight with the regret guy is not bad, considering Halo 2 doesn't really emphasize on boss battles except for the last mission against Tartarus, or Tartarsaurus, whatever his name is. But Regret is such an amazing level. If people haven't played it, I would strongly recommend you play it. It's simply a fantastic game level. The gondolas, the ride, and it's got flying elites in the mission on jetpacks, and then you got when you go down the gondolas, the underwater elevators, you see a secret city, and the music, like it plays this eerie music, and then it's sort of like when you go in the underwater city. It's sort of when you go in the underwater city of Bioshock, and you come out of the pod. But it's such an amazing level. I'd strongly recommend it to anyone. They are my top 10 favorite Halo levels of all time. If you like the video, feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I'm signing out. Thank you for watching.